Welcome to the Frisco Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Ellis, and on this episode, we're joined by Beth Crain from the Beyond Studios. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Scott.
Good to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Kind of excited to talk about this because we're getting into spring and everybody's probably waning a little on the New Year's resolutions, but they're thinking about, summer's coming up and I got to get back on it a little bit. And Pilates is a pretty hard workout. So
that it is.
Let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, give us a little bit of background on Pilates. How did it get started? What kind of a workout is it for those of us that haven't done it before?
Okay. There actually was a man named Joseph Pilates, and he invented Pilates almost about 100 years ago. But we've come a long way from then, so I'm going to talk about where we are today. What we do at Beyond is we take traditional Pilates and we completely turn it on its head. We set it to music and we add elements from other fitness disciplines, such as it's Pilates based, but you're going to get a hint of yoga or a hint of high interval training, just hints of other things to keep it interesting and keep it fresh every time. But at the core, like what Pilates does is it strengthens all the muscles in your body. If you want abs for summer, which is coming up, if you've got that swimsuit you're looking at in your drawer and you're freaking out, come to Pilates, you'll get abs. Everything we do starts with the core, but as a result of that, every muscle in your body gets worked. So you get those like long muscles that are very strong. It increases your mobility, your flexibility, your mind-muscle connection, where you're actually aware of what your body is doing. It's great for body awareness. Just a fantastic workout.
Okay, but it kind of starts and focuses on the core and works its way out from there. Did I articulate that correctly?
Yes, you did. Yes. So you can't lunge properly if you're not holding your core. So then if you're not in the right alignment, you're not going to actually be working the muscles in your legs that we're telling you you're working.
And I can imagine having a strong core would not only help you strengthen other muscles, but it also prevents injury of it too.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so if I come to the studio and I do a Pilates workout, what am I kind of in for, though? Can you walk me just through what a class might look like?
Yeah, so we have 12 reformers. It's also very important to know Pilates is done on equipment. So a Pilates reformer has a stable end. It has springs that move for resistance training. And then it has a carriage, which is also where you are, and that's a moving piece. And so when you walk in for the first time, we're going to walk you through how that works because most people have never worked out on a Pilates reformer before. There are 12 of them, so you have a very small group environment. You're always going to get personal instruction or personal attention from our instructors who are very highly trained. But what's going to happen is we're going to crank the music up and we're going to jam together. It's a 50-minute full body workout set to music. And it is the most magical experience when you look out and when I can look out into the studio room and know that instructor's playlist and know that beat is about to drop, and right as it does, everyone goes out together. It's just it's an experience. It's amazing.
Kind of keeps everybody
and you're getting a workout at the same time.
I like that. Probably need more of that too. Do many men take the class? I see a lot of women. I know a lot of women that do Pilates, but are guys in these classes too?
We have a few men. What's fun is I think I was a client at the Dallas studios before I owned the Frisco one, and people get obsessed with Beyond. I was obsessed enough that I bought a business, but people are obsessed with it because it changes their body, changes their lives, and so a lot of the men that we've come in have been some of my really consistent clients. Will bring their husbands. They're like, I'm just so obsessed with this. I have to share it with everyone in my life. And so the husbands come and they check it out. Some of them come back, some of them don't. But it's great for men. And in fact, in the studios in Dallas, a lot of the MLB pitchers have actually worked out there one-on-one just over the years because, again, it goes back to injury prevention. So if you're pitching, you not only need to have, your strong biceps and your major muscles, you need to have all of those other minor muscles as well as all the ligaments and everything around it working together so that they don't get injured.
I can imagine it's a good workout in the off season for athletes as well to kind of keep things loose but not overwork them. So
yes, and not just athletes. I mean, if you golf, it's great for you. If you, really anything where you're moving your body, it's great for men as well.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit more about you and specifically your business. Mm-hmm. You mentioned that you were obsessed with Pilates enough to where you decided to buy, is this a franchise?
It is a very small franchise, but yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you bought the franchise, you opened a studio in Frisco.
Yes.
Where is it located?
We are located at the corner of Lebanon and Legacy. So we're in the Kroger Shopping Center. We're directly next to the Frisco bar.
Oh, yeah. We know exactly
who's
where that
moving
is.
out next month. We're so sad.
Yeah,
so we
that's
need
what
a
we've
good new neighbor.
heard.
If anyone's listening, we'd like a healthy restaurant or something fun like that.
They've been there for a long time, too.
They have
so
been.
we wish them well.
They've been good neighbors.
But,
Yes,
okay.
but that's
so
right where we are.
That's right where you are. And are you guys facing Legacy?
We do. We face Legacy.
Okay. Yeah. So right there on that same side. And how long you been open?
We opened in December.
Wow. So
Yes.
kind of new to Frisco.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But our classes already filling up and
They are. It's gotten we had a very cold winter, and for some reason West Frisco got hit really hard with the flu and all that ickiness, but just right before spring break it started to get packed.
good.
So you definitely want to sign up online before, because we only have 12 reformers. So if they're all taken, you can't get into class.
Okay, so it's limited to
Yes,
12
exactly.
people per class. And how many classes a day? How often can
We have about 40 classes a week.
Okay.
Yep. So we start at 6 a.m. So if you want to work out before work or before your husband leaves for work, you can come on in. Our last class wraps up at 6:30 p.m.
and Saturdays and Sundays too?
Saturdays, Sunday mornings. And then what's unique about us is we have a small childcare area. As I was getting ready to open the business in Frisco, I heard from a lot of my mom friends that they just have to work out at home, or they don't work out anymore. They just can't do it. And so we have a small childcare area. Our 8:30 and 9:30 weekday classes, and then also on Saturday mornings, you can sign up. It's $5 per kid.
Okay.
Where else can you get a babysitter for $5 an hour?
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. And get a workout in
You
at
do
the
have
same
to
time.
work out, though. You can't just drop off your kids and jet for an hour.
Yeah, sorry, no drive-bys, people. No, none of that.
Yes.
Okay, so very good. So you've got the child care there. It's 40 classes a week, 7 days a week. Sunday mornings only, though,
Correct.
right?
Sunday and Saturday mornings only.
Sunday and Saturday mornings only. Good to know. But how did you come to own the franchise? Was it just something that became so important to you? You wanted to share it with more people? Have you been a business owner before? Because I promise not to tell anybody, but you don't live in Frisco. You just have a business up here, which is okay.
Yes. So my second home, I'm a born and raised Dallasite. I was born at Baylor Hospital. There aren't a lot of us
Now that's truly
real
a native.
Dallasites,
Yeah.
real fourth generation. So my husband and I are both from here, from Dallas, and so we do live in Dallas. But from 2007 to 2017, I was a director at a major corporation headquartered about 2 miles south of our studio on Legacy. And over the years, I got to watch just the entire North Plano, West Frisco area explode. And a ton of my friends, because I worked at that company for 10 years, and most people did live in Collin County. We spent a lot of time just hanging out up there, going to restaurants, shops at Legacy, vendor dinners, all different kinds of stuff. And at the same time, a couple of years, about 4 years ago, I became a client at Beyond in Dallas. It's a long story, but in a very long infertility journey, I found Pilates as something that could be helpful.
Interesting.
And it did, in fact, help, I think. And I became a client. I became obsessed. And at the same time, I was noticing the market around the Legacy area was exploding. All of a sudden, when I would hire a young person straight out of college, they didn't want to live in Uptown and commute anymore. They wanted to live in Plano or Frisco. And I just saw that demographic there. There was young families, there were corporate professionals, there were young professionals, and you kind of need all of those groups together to be able to build out a robust studio schedule. And so I ended up just making a plan to leave my job, and was lucky enough to have done well there to be able to go on and do this next. And funny story, my very first boss at that company lived in the neighborhood directly behind our studio. So it's a corner I'm very familiar with, going back to 2007.
Is he a client now? Does he do Pilates?
He's not. He unfortunately moved to Nebraska. But,
Oh, well, yeah, it's a bit of a haul.
yes, but I did email him on LinkedIn. He was like, congratulations. And I'm like, you'll never guess where my studio is. It's directly behind your house.
Too fun. So
Yes.
good. All right. So what's next for you guys? Classes are getting full. Do you still have
Yes.
capacity?
Yep. Yep. We still have capacity, and then hopefully we'll be able to expand the studio schedule and add more childcare also, just as we go through the year. What's next? I'm really excited about, and I'm telling y'all first because I haven't even told the studio yet.
All right.
We have a spring challenge that's going to kick off on April the 7th, which is a Saturday. And we're just going to have a bunch of fun stuff going on in the studio for the 4 weeks after that. I have a partner from Beyond Dallas who owns a nutrition company, and she's going to be helping us next month with learning how to properly fuel our bodies when we're working out and when we have maybe some swimsuit goals for summer. And we're just going to make it fun. So it's hopefully going to be like 4 weeks of fun where clients can just like really dig in and get excited as we're in that like last push to summer.
Okay, so
because I do feel like everyone gets back from spring break and they're like, "Whoa, boy, summer comes in 8 weeks. Like we got to get ready now.
It's right around the corner.
This is big time." Yes.
Okay, so we're going to have some challenges. We're going to have some nutrition education. Anything else that goes along with that?
Some prizes if you complete. Yeah, there'll be like a fun little game board. So if you say, can check off 5 things in a row on there. Maybe it's take 5 classes at 6 a.m. or take a class from my instructor Alicia or my instructor Kay, or check in on Facebook, some fun things just to like get everyone really excited about Beyond and about working out themselves and creating this fun community. Because it's not just a place to go work out. When there's only 12 people in your class, you really become friends with people. And I was walking out the other day and it was so fun. I saw 2 clients who always come at 8:30 in the morning exchanging phone numbers. And they never would have met each other other than Beyond.
Awesome.
Yeah, like it's just fun. So
very good. All right, so that's something to look forward to in April for sure. And if you're trying to get your summer body toned and in shape and ready to go, this is definitely something worth checking out.
Absolutely. And I will say, a lot of times people come into the studio and they say, "I've never done Pilates before." And I say, guess what? I hadn't either. Like everyone has a first time.
We all start somewhere.
You all start somewhere. So April would be a great month just to like dive in and get going because there'll be a lot of old faces in the studio, but a lot of new faces.
And I like challenges like that too because it gives you some added incentive to really stick to it in a short time frame where it's critical to build those new habits.
Yes.
So April was, I think, a perfect month to go.
Yes. Hopefully before all the end of the year craziness starts with schools.
Yeah, I love it. Is there anything that people who are coming out for the first time should do to prepare? Is there what kind of clothing should they wear? What do they need to bring to class? Things like that.
Okay, so you'll want to come 10 minutes early so we can walk you through the reformer. As far as clothing, anything that just fits kind of close to the body. You don't have to be in skin-tight clothing, but we need to be able to see the alignment in your body and how your body's moving, and we also don't want any pieces flying away that could get caught in the springs. Also with that, ladies, we would want your hair up away from your face so it doesn't get caught anywhere.
I don't have that problem.
You don't have that problem, Scott. You're ready to go. Other than that, eat your Wheaties before you come. So it's important to have, I usually eat eggs in the morning or eggs with some vegetables scrambled in them. You definitely want to have some protein on your stomach about 30 minutes before.
Okay.
And bring water because we do sweat.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Okay, good to know. And then what about the instructors? What kind of training do they have? Yeah. What is the process like for them to become a certified, I guess, Pilates instructor?
So every instructor holds a national fitness certification. Almost all of them have a national Pilates certification. The rest, we're going to check that off pretty soon here on a weekend. And then they've all completed our 40-hour Beyond training. So master trainers come in from Go Beyond and teach them every single thing they need to know about, I can't give you my secret sauce, but about how we put our classes together, what our moves are, and all that good stuff. How to really create a fantastic class experience that keeps clients coming back. And then after that, they go through a series of what we call mock classes, where I think they'll tell you it was pretty brutal to have to sit in front of your peers and practice being an instructor. But I'm really proud of them because they all powered through it and did a great job, and they're all doing a great job. It's fun.
Well, good. Glad to hear that. How many instructors do you have?
We have 5, and I have 1 in training who's about to start those mock classes, and then she'll go probably on the schedule in April.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's a lot to look forward to, and there's a lot coming up. So if you're looking for a great workout, if you're trying to get in shape for summer, if you want to learn a little more about nutrition, April is the month for you.
If you want to make friends.
If you want to make friends. Who doesn't want to make friends?
I know.
Beth, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
I know the time goes by way too fast. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about the Beyond Studio, about your Pilates studio?
Yes.
Hit me.
Okay. You can go onto our website right now, which is thebeyondstudios.com/Frisco/ hit the book now button, and you can do your first week free.
Okay.
With promo code FRIENDS.
Okay. First week free, promo code FRIENDS.
Yes.
And I assume that's the best place for them to find you online.
Yes.
thebeyondstudios.com/Frisco.
Yes. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. It's Beyond Studios Frisco for both of those.
Beyond Studios Frisco. Okay. Yes. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook, especially Instagram. Lots of good, I'm sure, motivation and pictures and things to kind of keep you in
and videos. If you're not sure, you can kind of prepare what you might see when you come to the studio.
I like it.
It's good.
All right. Here's how we're going to go out, because we ask everybody this question. I know you don't live in Frisco, but you're clearly spending a lot of time up there.
I do.
What is your favorite thing about Frisco? Do you have a favorite restaurant or place to go or thing to do other than Pilates?
Yes. I need to get a frequent eater card at Up Inspired Kitchen because I go every single
They'll be glad to hear that.
I know. I go all the time, and they catered our grand opening. They're the nicest people. They're a great family, and Debbie's fantastic too. I actually ate breakfast there yesterday with a client after class.
Yeah, they do have a rewards program.
Yes, they do actually. Yes, I do get that. But I mean,
I hear you.
I'm kind of like the mayor in there. It's pretty. I can tell you about everything on the menu.
What is your favorite thing on the menu there?
Oh my goodness. I've been really into the roasted broccoli bowl lately.
That sounds good.
It's so good. It's couscous, broccoli, beets. I love beets. A lot of people don't. Some gorgonzola crumbled on top.
Yeah, that does sound pretty
Healthy,
good, actually.
Tasty. You can put some protein on there.
See, now I think I know what I'm having for lunch.
There you go.
I actually had Ray, who's one of the owners of Up, in for a podcast a couple of weeks ago. And right afterwards, I was so hungry I had to go up there and grab my lunch. So it's good stuff. All right. Well, Beth, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate having you on the show today.
Anytime.
And to all of you out there listening, thank you again for tuning into the Frisco podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.
Listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.